Hello and welcome to the first episode of Roughnecks Rundown. It's your boy Jay Arnold here with Garrett, Noah,
What up?
producer Josh in the studio.
He's back. He's back there. Yell.
He yelled.
Love to hear that.
Yeah.
So, 2020, the Roughnecks got off to an incredible start.
Sure did.
5-0.
Undefeated.
PJ Walker
Legend.
having an incredible season.
Houston legend.
And then, unfortunately, it got cut short by COVID.
Yeah.
That little thing. Yeah, remember that? That was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to the BC times, right? Before COVID.
Yeah, before
right.
COVID.
Miss
Yeah.
those days.
But
Which is such a shame because I was really enjoying that year. Obviously, COVID was terrible for so many reasons, but they took away the XFL, and I think that might be one of the bigger issues that I had with it.
One of the bigger losses.
Yeah, it was really one of the bigger that.
Not the lives, it's
the
the XFL.
millions of lives were lost, but also the XFL was lost. And but
I do both.
our good friend Rock
Good friend
decided
Rock.
to
Shout out to
pick up the
Dwayne.
pieces, man. Shout out to Dwayne, who saw this business opportunity and bought it. I believe he acquired it from someone. Don't know the name of the prior.
I think
Vince
Vince
McMahon.
McMahon.
Was it really?
Yeah. Well, I think there was like a bankruptcy
There was
deal.
yeah.
I don't get into all the red tape of business.
Yeah. Who cares, man?
they
Business is
didn't-
business. I
yeah.
don't do that.
That's not something they covered in business school. They didn't teach me how to declare bankruptcy. I think that would have been more useful, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just to hit a red button, bankruptcy.
Yeah.
But Rock picked up the pieces, and now here we are. We have 8 teams, 4 in each conference or division, if you want to, whatever you want to call it. And so far, we had a weekend of football
Some
after
good
the NFL.
football. There was some
Yeah.
good football plays.
Yeah, I mean, and we'll get into the rest of the league, but
Yeah.
there were some fantastic contests throughout the weekend.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think it was a pretty successful first week,
Mm-hmm.
but this being Roughnecks Rundown, we're gonna dive into the Roughnecks.
We're going
obviously.
to get into the next first.
But before we really start diving into it, do want to touch on some of the differences in rules in the XFL versus the NFL.
Yeah.
Quite the difference.
The thing that was most obvious that people watching probably saw, there's no kicking a point after attempt for a touchdown.
Yeah.
You have the tiered system of PATs. So you go from the 2-yard line is worth 1 point.
Yeah.
The 5-yard line is
2
worth
points.
2 points. And the 10-yard line is worth 3 points.
And there's a big, and it's a really, I like it. I mean, obviously, I love football and its pure form as in the NFL and stuff like that. It's always kind of going to be the best way, but the XFL has to do something different. You know what I mean? And I think it's a really cool thing that they're doing, and it's fun to be in the stands, and it also adds a different aspect of you're not out of it. If you're down,
if you're down
9,
that-
That
by
3-point
9,
conversion
Yeah.
is a huge
Yeah,
deal.
huge,
exactly.
and the fans in the stands are yelling, "Go 4-3, go 4-3!" Like the whole time. Like that's just something it's really cool. It's a cool change, and it really gives the XFL its own kind of personality.
One thing I will say, I think this was during the late Sunday night game that they said this. I think teams were like 2 for 11 going for it.
Wow. I mean,
Like
it's hard.
across all PATs.
Yeah, right.
So not just 1 or 2 or 3. I mean, it's
difficult to get those yards, even those 1-pointers.
They really lock it down after, if you give up 6, you really don't want to give up, especially 3. Because if you give up 9 points right there, boom, that's
painful.
That's fucking tough. So, freaking tough. So, no, I'm kidding. But the whole tier system of like 1, 2, 3 points, it's a lot different. And from what I'm used to, obviously, and getting into it, it's very, very fun because I am hoping to go for 3. Yeah. Go for 3.
And it opens up some options too because as a player, you get down to the 2-yard line where you would go for it, or even the 5. You're very limited in the playbook. Right. You get out to 10 yards, you can open up the playbook a little bit more.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
offensively.
Exactly. It's not, you look like in the NFL, you go for 2. It's you got a few options. You might run a little slant route, might roll up the middle, whatever.
Sprint right option.
If you're fucking Jalen Hurts,
Philly special.
Yeah, exactly.
Special.
But like you said, on that 10-yard line, exactly what you just said. You can open up that playbook. It gets a little more creative and more fun. I think.
I mean, it's the Extreme Football League, man. It's the
Well,
fun.
doesn't
football.
technically stand for extreme. Is
What
that
is
what
it?
we're
Yeah,
doing?
I don't know. I mean, extremely fun league.
Yeah.
Fun league, man.
because we just had a great time.
Yeah, no, it was a fun game.
Yeah.
Another rule change versus NFL is the kickoffs.
Yeah.
That one I think is more of a safety related,
Yeah, that's
which
well, I
personally like as somebody who has gone through it, kickoffs are scary. I mean, you're running full down speed. I mean, when you see a lot of neck injuries, a lot of those came from kickoffs.
Yeah.
I mean,
So it's something that's, I think, both an interesting change and a good change from a safety perspective.
I think so, especially after this past NFL year where there was an abundance of head neck injuries and concussions, where this was a good call, in my opinion, to make kickoffs and just safer game. Just making a safer game, making a safer place, because essentially this is a farm system. You don't want to make it too hard on these guys.
Well, also one thing that I'm interested in is I'm wondering how closely the NFL is really monitoring how it's going, right? Because that's something that the NFL might want to look into. I mean, it would be obviously a drastic change for what they do already, and a lot of people would not like that. But if it's safer, and the XFL is proving that, then I can see the NFL adopting.
And for those of you that don't know what we're talking about, basically they have, instead of everybody running full speed down the field, they have the opposing teams basically line up 5 yards apart, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It's 5 or 10 yards apart. That way you're not getting the full head of steam and people crashing into each other.
And it doesn't really...
There's still the possibility of a huge kick return. So the excitement of a kickoff is still there.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it really did not change much, from when I was on the field watching it. Also obviously, like, being on the field, it's a different speed than what you're used to seeing on TV or in the stands. But it didn't really change much for me at all. And in fact, I'm in full support of it. I love it. Yeah. So, I want a safer game.
So sticking with kickoffs, another rule change versus the NFL, which I thought was really cool. We actually got to see it in action. And again, we'll get to that when we go around the league. The onside kick does not have to be an onside kick. You can choose to go for it from 4th and 15 from your 25 and get the ball back that way, which one of the teams was successful in doing this weekend.
Well, and that's the onside kick is such a low percentage chance, right? But for the most part,
it's a low percentage, and again, it's a part of the game where it's pretty easy to get injured. Yeah, you have guys going up to get the ball, and I mean, somebody runs underneath them, or
especially in a moment like that, it's desperation. I mean, everyone's trying to get to that ball. So
that's one rule I'd hope doesn't make to the NFL. Honestly, I really don't want that rule. Because if I'm the fucking Kansas City Chiefs and I'm Patrick Mahomes, I might just do that all the time. Maybe I don't know. Like
4th and 15.
Yeah, but I think I could do that. Let's do it. Yeah.
With the talent in the league, and not you saying anything about the XFL, because I mean, there's a lot of talent in the XFL as well. But I mean, there's just, like you said, those guys like Mahomes, 4th and 15. That's a cakewalk for him and Andy.
Maybe. Yeah. So like, I really don't better make it.
I wouldn't necessarily call it.
No, not a cakewalk's not the word, but it's not. It's very doable.
It's definitely a higher percentage than
an onside kick. Yeah.
But I think that's part of it too. I mean,
if the NFL brought that rule in, there'd have to be circumstances where you could have to do it. Like, you can't just do that every time.
It has to be like a certain point in
the
game.
Maybe get like one of those a game.
Yeah, maybe it has to be in like the last 2 minutes or something.
Yeah. Something like that.
I like it though. It's fun. It's exciting.
Yeah, and then the other changes are kind of pace of play related.
Yeah.
The clock, running on an incompletion, running out of bounds until you get under the final 2 minutes and a half in the game. Those are things that sped the game up a little bit. Although the Roughnecks game got hampered a little bit by some delays with reviews. I mean, that's part of it, though. If you're going to review.
Yeah, of course.
Also, it is first week. People are players, refs, coaches. Everyone's just trying to collect their bearings. And
we're trying to collect our bearings.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Yeah, the whole time. I kept forgetting about
Not even related to the podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, just in real life. But, like watching it, I still wasn't used to the rules and stuff. And, when they were going for it, I went, why aren't they kicking it right now?
Yeah, right.
I was like, why are they back so far? That's right.
You just got to get used to it.
Yeah, it's like a whole thing, getting used to it. But when you do get used to it, like it did in 2020, it's fun. I think it makes for a lot of great opportunities, like you were saying.
Yeah. So now that we've covered the rule change, kind of dive into the actual game.
Yeah.
But before the game, there's the pregame.
Of course.
The tailgate.
Tailgate.
So I didn't make it to the tailgate. I kind of walked through while I saw people setting up. But you guys did make it to the tailgate.
We did. Yeah. We went out there.
Good time. It was a good time. There was a nice little turnout, honestly, for an XFL game in the U of H parking lot. Wasn't bad. People were, drinking, playing, cornhole and eating hot dogs. And, it was a good time. People were also showing out with some, Roughnecks gear.
No, that was getting me. Like, there's passion. There's passion for this team.
It's there.
And it's not, and there was people out there. They've been out there for hours. They had their vans decked out in Roughneck stuff, their trucks Roughneck stuff, and just wearing head to toe. There's a guy in a whole full uniform. I was just like doing the whole thing. It was great.
There was a person I saw at the tailgate. Also saw in the game. I saw a picture of him. He was wearing a 44 Roughnecks jersey and it said "Still Tipping" on the back. It was custom.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, you got a custom made, and that's awesome.
I mean, there's people out there with face painted.
Yeah, 100%.
Dude. The other thing I want to I think the Roughnecks have done a great job of playing to the old Oilers mystique in a way that the Texans
Absolutely.
For sure.
don't.
Yeah.
Obviously, with the name Roughnecks, it calls to bind to
course.
Warfield. But having Coach Phillips, right?
Yeah, no,
Son
they're
of Bum.
dialing into the Oilers.
Son of Bum.
I
fandom.
mean, there's you got Oilers legends were at the game.
Of course. Yeah, we had Dan Pastorini giving out the game ball at the beginning.
Yeah, I think they really leaned into that, and obviously people have such a soft spot for the Oilers back in the day. It's kind of like maybe to them it's kind of like the second coming of the Oilers.
Yeah.
Not professional, not an NFL team, but hey, they're kind of
still professional.
Still professional,
Yeah.
but and then the whole people were chanting "drill, baby, drill," leaning into that, and I think people are buying into it big time.
Yeah, and I think that's part of what made the tailgate environment seem
Absolutely.
so fun.
Yeah.
Is that there is some buy-in.
No, it was a great time. That was week one. I mean, as the season goes along, I assume those tailgates will grow. More people are going to get into it. More people are going to be coming out.
Also, it was a later game, so if we get earlier tailgates, then there will be more people.
Game or whatever.
It'll be interesting to see, Sunday versus Saturday.
Yeah.
There's a few differences in the crowd.
Yeah.
And it was cooler weather as well. It was, people probably would be outside, but next week, hopefully, there'll be more people at the tailgate.
Yeah.
So while you guys were out there tailgating, I decided to go down and check out the field a little bit early.
Yeah.
One of my old coaches from Texas A&M, my defensive coordinator, Mark Schneider, is the linebackers coach for the Orlando Guardians. So I got to check
Wow, that's awesome,
before
dude.
the game.
I didn't know that.
That was a good time.
How was that? How's he doing?
It's always good to see guys chop it up a little bit. Former defensive lineman at A&M. You may know him from the Patriots. Ty Warren is the defensive line coach for the Guardians. So we got the good little bit of A&M chat.
Of course.
But it was interesting hearing those guys kind of talk about the approach to the game, right?
Yeah.
Because I knew Coach Schneider when he was coaching college football.
Of course.
And when I was playing college football.
Yeah.
In the XFL, like you guys said, it's a farm system. College is a farm system.
Yeah.
The difference is some of these guys have been in the NFL already.
Right. Exactly.
All of them, most of them have been out of college for a while now.
Right. Yeah.
So you have to have a certain level of passion.
Yeah, exactly.
To be trying to make it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
And,
you got to have that
obviously, another thing the coaches are talking about versus college. Yes, it's a farm system, but the guys know a little bit more about what it takes to get to the NFL.
Yep.
And you also don't have to worry about them skipping class and having to take them up and run them.
Exactly.
You don't need to care about a GPA or anything.
That's
man.
what
Just
I was
go play
gonna.
ball.
That's what I was gonna mention. Like the approach is probably maybe not a lot different, but it's different to coaching these guys that are, like you said, some of them have already been in the league, some of them were almost in the league. Maybe they were on a team, got cut, maybe whatever, they made the practice squad. But when versus and better than anyone, these guys in college, especially when they're coming in as freshmen, they're used to being coaching high school. You know what I mean? Like that's such a different approach to coaching pro level athletes, even though they're not in the NFL anymore.
Well, the other thing is, you have kids coming into college. They don't know how to get into a playbook, right?
Yeah.
There's a very big difference between a high school playbook. I mean, some of them are getting more complex now.
Yeah.
But there's a big difference between a high school playbook and a college playbook, and even more so in the NFL.
Yeah.
There's also, and I'm speaking as somebody that had to have it happen to himself.
Of course.
You have to get humbled as a college athlete. Like there's a process that you go through, and I'm sure it's even more exasperated now with NIL.
Yeah,
absolutely. But on the flip side of that, the XFL isn't the NFL either, where you have the multi-million-dollar guys that kind of feel untouchable.
Yeah.
So it's a nice middle ground, I think,
absolutely,
where there's a lot of passion for the game.
That you sorry, we can move on here in a minute, but you talk about just like being humbled when you get to college, because most of these guys, especially going to a D1 school, especially like A&M, like one of these programs, it's a huge program. You go and most of these guys were the big shot in high school. You know what I mean? You probably
every guy on that field is a guy.
Exactly. And then you get there and you're like, this isn't high school. Everyone here is probably as good as me, or or close. You know what I mean? So it's just
Or better.
weird or better. And so it's just a different world, man. It's wild. Yeah. It's wild to think about.
But yeah, seeing the guys in the XFL kind of have that approach, I think is a good spot for coaches and it's a good spot for the athletes as well.
I think so.
But getting into the actual game,
Yeah.
it was a pretty good contest to start. I mean, the
Yeah.
Guardians jumped out early.
Yeah, they did. They started off with a great drive, the great offensive drive, and it looked like, oh man, maybe Paxton Lynch is maybe he's slinging
he's
it,
the
he's
guy.
looking good.
Yeah,
man.
so that first touchdown for the Guardians, Paxton Lynch to Cody Latimer.
was that a touchdown though?
I think it was a touchdown.
Yeah.
I was looking at it and I was trying to see on the. I guess maybe there wasn't enough to overturn it, but
So we were up in the press box. Shout out to the press box.
Shout out.
It was very close. I don't think it was enough to overturn.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It might not have been, but there just wasn't enough there. Yeah. There wasn't enough
yeah,
there.
but regardless, they jumped out with that early touchdown, but we answered pretty quickly. Speaking as a Roughnecks fan, go next.
Yeah, go next.
Yeah.
This is the Roughneck rundown, dude. We
yeah.
don't like Paxton Lynch.
Yeah,
running,
I'm
dude.
saying we because I feel like I'm a part of the team.
Yeah, I
was
could
there
go
with-
out there. I could go suit up, dude. I'll do it. Honestly, if they want me to.
But yeah, we had an answer pretty quickly, and we tied it up with. Who scored around then?
So it was
You got the scoreboard.
Brandon Long John Silvers to John J. Kirkland.
Yeah.
Tied it
there
up.
You go. We got a nice pair of receivers, by the way.
So
Yeah.
they tied it up at 6-6. This is when we talk about the PATs, right? Like
Yeah.
both teams. I don't think either team converted a PAT on the
Yeah.
night.
Which is wild.
Yeah.
Which is
I mean,
crazy.
it's weird to me as a big NFL guy, but hey, the XFL trying to have a little fun, introduce me to new things, man. I'm open minded.
Yeah.
And so from there, it's tie game. The Guardians are kind of driving at the end of the second quarter, and we get to hear the most magical sound in sports, the doink, off
Doink.
the upright.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
When
It
the
was.
Guardians
It's beautiful
kicker
when it's not your
just-
team.
I prefer a double doink, but I'll take one. I'll take
As a
single
Bears
doink.
fan, I do not prefer. a
Yeah.
double
Oh,
doink.
you're a Bears fan. I
Yeah.
apologize.
I
didn't mean to bring
Cowboys
it up.
fans are familiar with that noise as well.
Yeah, a little doink action.
You like a doink?
Little doink the clown.
Yeah, no, but there was a doink, which you know what that made me know we're here. This is ball.
Yeah.
It's time for ball.
It was kind of like a chime going off, right?
Yeah, it
Like,
was. It was like,
you hear the
wind chime.
the noon bells ringing, and then you're
Yeah.
like, oh, well, I better get to class.
Yeah, you're like, oh, here we go. I gotta get to class.
But it did feel like that was kind of a turning point in the game.
Yeah.
Because from that point on, the Roughnecks kind of controlled the action.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. absolutely.
So, the Roughnecks get the ball back. Brandon Long John Silvers to Deontay Burnett,
Yeah.
12-6.
Big deep ball from him.
Dude, it was.
He was throwing missiles, man.
Yeah.
I think so. Like
And
he's
Brandon's
a
nice.
gunslinger, like you
Brandon's
said
nice.
before. He's a gunslinger.
Yeah, he's going to make some mistakes. He's going
Yeah,
to throw
of
some
course.
balls that aren't necessarily the best decisions,
Yeah.
but he's exciting to watch.
Where did he play
I think so.
college ball?
He played at Troy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Troy?
Troy.
Good for him, man.
Yeah, Sun Belt, baby. Fun Belt. Y'all know.
Yeah. Fucking, but yeah, he was throwing some missiles out there, and that one touchdown to Burnett was, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful play.
And then before the end of the half, Max Borghi,
Dog.
Heisman run.
Washington
Yeah.
Heisman
State
his
product.
own offensive line
Yeah.
player. I loved it. He looks like a little Christian McCaffrey out there. I was on the field. He's shifty as hell.
Yeah,
he looked good.
He's good.
Ran hard too.
He's
ran
got some
hard.
hands on him too.
Yeah.
He's made a couple catches that game too.
Get out of the
that he
backfield.
came bringing
which
it down.
would be
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
So the going into halftime, the Roughnecks are up 18-6. Actually, no, I missed one. Duplessis got a field goal
Oh yeah.
before the
That's right.
the end of the
No doinks
half.
this time. No doinks.
No doinks this
No
time.
doinks.
Right up through.
But,
right up through.
The guys went into halftime. Obviously, a lot of momentum with the Roughnecks.
Yeah.
In the
Defensively as
meantime, we're enjoying the offerings of the press box.
Absolutely. We
So-
were eating some chicken and mushrooms. What was going on there? Some Caesar salad.
halftime refreshments.
Yeah.
It was honestly one of the healthiest meals I've had in a long time.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've been,
Go Necks.
eating a little bit too much barbecue lately.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is wearing
Right.
on me, as you can probably
Some
tell.
grilled chicken don't hurt.
Yeah,
everything,
a
you know?
little grilled chicken with
And
mushrooms.
they look. They were trying to be healthy. Even had DCs in there, some Diet Cokes, not
Yeah.
even a real Coke.
I had me a water, you know.
Yeah. I had
But
a water
it was-
too, but I had to.
I have had a lot worse experiences in hospitality
yeah.
press boxes.
Yeah.
I have to give that like a solid 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah. I'd give it a 7.
Rookie score.
I was enjoying it though. What did
So,
you?
hey, 7. I didn't have any food at the press box. I came up after during halftime, and they said it was all gone. So I found some barbecue downstairs.
How was that?
I'll give that an 8.5.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. It's just the corn on the cob wasn't great, but I liked it. I thought it was good, dude. Thought it was really delicious.
Corn on the cob's gotta be right.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
you gotta,
and then,
you gotta get a little butter. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a
There was
big
no
lump
butter
of
on it.
knobs.
There was no butter. There
Gotta
was
have
a
the
little-
juice.
With a little pepper on it though, and I like that. But,
You get a
no,
little pepper on
but
it.
8.5 was good. I didn't have what y'all had though. I had brisket and
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
So I mean, we were a little bit healthier than you. I'd
Yeah,
say.
absolutely.
No.
But
You know, get my steps in on the field.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout out to the Roughneck staff for taking care of us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, shout
They were
out.
great.
Shout
They were
out
great.
next staff.
Bringing
Let's
us
go.
all the updated stats throughout the game and stuff like that. It was really
Yeah.
cool. Really cool.
Is that so? Have you guys ever been in a press box before? Or is that
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
No, I mean it was nice, but like you said, like it was really. I enjoyed it. Some of the best press box food I've had. Because sometimes it's whatever. They kind of throw something together, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. And halftime was cool. Halftime was fast. We mentioned that halftime seemed like it went by really quick.
That's another rule change. 10-minute halftime.
Yeah.
So it was
That explains
very
it.
quick.
Went up in the press box to see y'all, said what's up, and there was no food. Left, ate some food, and when I'm eating food, they were already out there playing again. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I've been walking around for 15 minutes already? No, I was walking around for 10. So
Jay, as the former in-house, collegiate athlete, how long 15-minute halftime?
I think they're longer in college. I think it's
Maybe
like
even
20, 25.
Yeah.
So-
How would you feel about that?
I mixed emotions about this, right? A&M, the fans at A&M love their band.
Of course.
And I mean, I like the Fight Deck Zaggy band too.
Yeah.
Really cool experience. As a player, it sucks.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's not really enough time to fully get the changes that you need made.
Yeah, right.
But it's also long enough that you're cooled down.
Yeah.
So then you have to go back out there and warm up. It can be problematic because you have injuries, right? And
course.
adrenaline's pumping, adrenaline dries down a little bit. All of a sudden, you're in there in halftime, and you're like, oh, my ankle.
Yeah, my ankle's killing me.
It's like Conor McGregor. My foot's a balloon.
it's
It's
knee.
it's
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's another reason to like the short, quick halftime.
Yeah.
Other than as a fan making it more watchable.
Yeah.
It's also better for the players in my mind that you don't get as cold in
course.
between the halves.
Get in there. Let coach. I'm guessing head coach is chatting it up a little bit, talking about the first half. But get in there. Take a seat, hydrate, get back out there. I think that is probably what I'd prefer. But also, I've never played ball at a high level, so
Yeah. So from there, obviously Garrett, you got back down on the field.
Yep.
You got to take some pictures.
Got back on
Some
the
good
field
stuff out
with my
there.
cam. Was getting shots and stuff. And what I really noticed right away is all the momentum was on the next side after second half or after the halftime. Whatever. It was really defensively they were taking over. I think a few players of note. A lot of sacks, a lot of interceptions going into the
Yeah, 17 sacks, pretty good number.
7 team sacks and 3 team picks. Who was the gentleman that
Trent,
had 4 sacks?
Trent Harris had
Trent
4
Harris,
sacks.
4 sacks.
University of Miami product.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
4 sacks.
Yeah, 4
And then
sacks.
Tim Ward had 2.
Tim
So-
Ward had 2. They were being dogs out there. They were being dogs.
So they struggled that first drive, but then I think they really started turning up the pressure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It affected Paxton Lynch pretty negatively. Obviously, he gets benched.
Yeah.
Quentin Dormady comes in to replace him.
Which not too bad. I mean, he came in and kind of. I mean, obviously they didn't get much done. The final score will tell you that, but he kind of came in there and seemed poised and ready to go.
It might be something to look monitor throughout the week if you're a Guardians fan because you might have a new starting quarterback in week 2.
Yeah.
So,
So third quarter, no scoring. No scoring plays in the third quarter.
Yep.
We get to the fourth quarter, and Duplessis gets another field goal. Then the Guardians tried to make a little bit of a comeback.
Yeah.
Quentin Dormady had a touchdown pass.
Yeah.
Uh,
But by then, the vibe in the stadium though,
It was-
it was drill baby drill all over the place. It
Yeah.
was like Roughnecks
It was-
were taking it all the way.
it felt like a garbage time kind of thing.
It
you know
was.
what I mean?
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
the Roughnecks tacked on another touchdown
Yeah.
with Cole McDonald,
Yeah.
former Hawaii quarterback.
Coming in.
Got a little
Good
rushing,
play.
Aloha,
Yeah. With
yeah.
his
a little
legs.
rushing touchdown, and then
Yeah.
another field goal there to end the game,
Yeah.
and it was a dominant win, 33-12 for
Yeah.
the Roughnecks.
33-12, big time. They've never lost.
Yeah,
The Roughnecks never lost.
6-0.
They don't
6-0.
know how to lose.
Well,
Franchise history.
we may never lose again. And
Ever.
also-
We've never.
also-
again,
n-
we
some-
never have.
Something
Knock on
worth
wood.
noting, easily had the most points throughout the entire weekend out of
Yeah.
every team, 33. It was hard for any other team to crack 20. You know,
Yeah.
they easily had the most points, the biggest win, and is that? I mean, it's only week 1, but going forward, it's very promising.
Yeah.
It's very promising because also Wade Phillips is an experienced guy, and he's always been a great leader and a great head coach and defensive coordinator. Yeah. So maybe he's got something cooking up.
Yeah, I think you have to be excited if you're a Roughnecks fan heading
Absolutely.
into the rest of the 2023 season.
The Defenders and the Renegades are the only 2 other teams that even broke over 20 points.
Yeah,
the whole,
so
week,
there you go.
Yeah.
And the Defenders had a defensive touchdown. So
So doesn't count.
That doesn't count in my book.
Doesn't
dude.
count.
all right,
But yeah,
we talked about the game.
Yeah.
What we haven't necessarily talked about is the vibe of the crowd in the stands.
Oh,
dude, it's good.
I mean,
they were having a blast. They were having a blast.
so obviously they're not selling for the upper deck at TDECU
Yeah,
Stadium,
no.
but the lower bowl was packed.
Yeah, it was.
packed,
And-
dude. I mean, you take away the top, it was sold out.
And,
Yeah.
and the crowd was loud the whole game.
They were,
I mean,
they were
was,
into it.
they-
Really into it.
It was really exciting to see. Do you guys have any like highlights from the crowd or from seeing anything else outside of the football game?
Yeah, well, first I just want to say shout out to our guy Colin, who's there. Everyone knows Colin. If you're just the energy he brings to absolutely any sporting event just makes the place feel electric. Just yelling and like he's calling their punter baby legs and like that was
He will
so
make
funny.
any player
Baby
feel
Legs
dumb.
was an incredible champ.
Baby legs. Was, oh no, because it wasn't just Colin. He got every single fan in the stadium calling him baby legs, and I honestly felt bad for the guy a little bit. That's a tough out.
That's tough tickets right there.
Yeah.
You know, the typical like the drill baby drill, of course. Go for 3, obviously, and at the end of the game, going in the fourth quarter, we're up big. The "we won't lose" chant started coming in, and I got chills. I was like,
that's
"Ooh, we won't
goosebumps.
fucking lose. That's
Yeah,
awesome."
no, some guy behind me just kept every single time the Roughnecks scored anything, he would be, Wade, go for 3, Wade, just like getting into it, man.
Spotted
Calling out Wade.
The go for 3 chants are very audible.
They are.
I love them.
Yeah.
It's also spotted a shoey in the
Ooh,
stands.
I mean,
courtesy
it's-
of
you gotta have traditions.
you got to bring it, dude.
As an Aggie, I love tradition. So
Yeah.
the new tradition we decided to start is a little Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
Little victory shoey every time the Roughnecks win.
There you go. Love it.
We
And
did it. We'll
it was
insert
all-
that footage.
It was also the only beer you drank all game long out of your shoe. I love it.
This is my first sober shoey.
Yeah, sober shoe.
A little bit different. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm planning on giving up the booze for Lent, so I may switch over to like a Topo Chico shoey.
Yeah. Ooh,
That's gonna be
yeah.
interesting.
Pour it up.
A little
spicy
That's
water.
cheating. What are we doing? I'll take over.
A
for you.
shoey's a
Okay.
shoey, man. Come
Yeah.
on. The whole point is drinking out of your shoe, and you're doing that.
That's true.
You know, it doesn't
That's
matter what.
true.
It could be icy punch,
Yeah,
dude.
and you can put your foot back in the
But-
fucking wet shoe.
I mean, it's part of the game.
you got to do it.
Hey,
You gotta do it.
the game is cold, man.
I don't know if I can do that. In my,
I mean, Taito Ivasa, who I got it from, the UFC fighter, he does the shoe out of other people's shoes, so he didn't have to deal with the wet shoe
Okay,
problem.
well, this is better.
that's actually That's a good idea.
It is and it isn't because
It's not a good idea.
You could just. You
It's
could
not good.
figure it
I know
out.
me. I know my.
I know
feet.
my foot.
I don't
Yeah,
know your.
me too,
I don't
man. I don't
know
know where
like if I was
I know
doing
mine, I
if
don't
I was
need
doing
to
a
be-
shoe out of Josh's shoe, I don't know his feet like that, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm doing one out of mine.
I've seen Garrett's search history. I'm not taking a shoe from
Yeah,
his
no,
shoe.
I'm not drinking anything. I think those are new shoes though, but
They
still,
are new,
they're
but, you know,
already
come on.
tarnished. They're done. No,
I broke them
you know
in
what?
on Main Street.
If you can't do the beer, I will do at least one shoey this year. And
I
for
appreciate
you.
that.
For
Next
you.
week, man. If we take
Yeah.
another one, which we will,
I will
do it.
I'll say it right now. If we win next week, the Houston Roughnecks win next week, I will do a shoey.
We'll have to get Josh to get another cinematic shot like he did. I
Yeah,
mean, that
of
was
course.
just incredible.
It was so
slow
good.
mo and all, but
Yeah, a lot of good content. You know, got from check out Apollo all of our socials. He posted a lot of our stuff.
check
so
it out. We got some good
stuff.
highlights. But
For me personally, the highlight of the game, non-football related, seeing Dwayne.
Oh,
so I was with Rock
I mean,
on the field.
Couldn't believe it.
His security detailed grabbed me by the collar.
Garrett got manhandled a little bit.
Yeah, but I
he
got
got a
some
little
good
bit
picks.
close.
Yeah.
They were like too close,
Yeah.
boy.
No, dude,
Get away.
that's Hobbs and Shaw, dude. You
He
can't
was
get
like
too
he was
close.
like a puppy getting grabbed by the scruff of his
yeah,
neck.
exactly.
And just
He's
yoink.
getting thrown.
But I got some good shots. Got some slow mo. Got some good stills of him. And seeing Rock there was also great because I mean he's the owner of the fucking whole league. So
I think it's great
Yeah.
for the players too to see that guy.
yeah,
Of
no,
course.
that's also it's a boost for everyone involved. It's like wow, the Rock is right there. This is a real thing that he's
Yeah.
doing. He's serious about
dude,
this.
and he just has such a presence about him.
he
Like,
does absolutely.
Oh, I mean, it's hard. I mean, first off, look, a guy that looks like that's going to have a presence anywhere he goes anyway. He's
Yeah.
jacked. He's 6'5", just a cool looking guy. And then you add that he's the biggest movie star in the world. On top
and the
of that.
people's champion.
And the people's champion and one of the best wrestlers of all time.
Yeah.
Just doesn't miss on any level. And he
Yeah.
played in the NFL for a little bit. Like, I mean, he was like, got cut.
played at
but
the
still,
U.
he played at the U. Exactly. Like
During like the U's heydays.
Yeah,
when
exactly.
they were still like selling cocaine to fund the program.
exactly. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, God.
Respect.
What a time.
Don't-
What a
not
time to
respect,
be alive.
kidding, but,
Yeah, it's cocaine and real estate fraud. That's how the U got so good at football. Now they're taking money from the hospital to fund the football team.
What you got to do, we got to do. That's what I say. You got to do what you got to
play
do.
ball.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, allegedly. But no, yeah, seeing Rock on the field before the game was great. Like you were saying, it's great for the players, great for the fans because he was just waving at the fans, yelling at them,
dude.
probably getting them jacked. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
if the Rock pointed at you in the stands, you're a few beers in, points at you, and he yells. Are you not like just jacked for the entire game? At
Immediately.
least 2 quarters,
That's a magical
right?
moment. That's a magical
Immediately.
moment.
Yeah, at least 2 quarters. So it was awesome seeing them there, man.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, even just being able to just be in the presence of someone like that.
Of the
is
rundown,
nutty.
which hey,
Shout out to
Roughnecks
the
rundown.
rundown.
Yeah.
Roughnecks rundown.
Oh, that's a
Go
good
next.
point. That's it.
Dude, so obviously Roughnecks get off to 1-0 start this
Yeah.
year.
Yep.
Take it around the league. Arlington Renegades, who come to town next weekend,
Yeah.
had a little bit of a comeback against the Las Vegas
They
Vipers.
sure do.
They won 22-20 on Saturday. That was the first game of the season.
Yeah.
Close game. Close
Yeah,
game.
close
I didn't
game.
get to catch all of it, but final score indicates it was a pretty close game.
Yeah.
All the games were pretty close except for ours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So shout out to
Good
the
luck, chumps.
Sunday, so I didn't get to watch all these games. I was watching
We're
Daytona
flipping
500.
back and forth
Yeah.
between Daytona and yeah.
So the St. Louis Battlehawks and the San Antonio Brahmas. First of all, shout out to the San Antonio crowd too, because they were
ready to
came
go.
in ready.
they were
came in
very
ready.
packed down
They were.
there
They
in
were.
Respect.
Alamo Dome.
And
Respect.
also
which-
shout out to former Texan AJ McCarron, starting quarterback there for the Battlehawks. So good to see him out there, and they came back.
Let it come back, dude. That was our first choke of the XFL season.
Yeah,
that
it
game.
is the first time a crowd got silenced by an opposing team. Really.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it.
Yeah, but that's ball, baby.
That's ball. I love
Yeah.
it.
That's the way it
That's
goes.
ball.
Yeah, the Brahmas were actually the only home team to lose this weekend.
Wow.
Wow.
So-
I mean, they're up 15-3 with what a minute and 50 left, something like that.
Yeah,
Hey,
I
but
mean,
those
that's
3-point
XFL.
conversions in it.
Yeah.
Hey, things get
exactly.
weird with those 3-point plays.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Things get weird.
Yeah.
So, Battlehawks obviously going to be a team to watch.
Yep.
The championship game announced played in San Antonio.
Yeah,
Good venue for it. Obviously, San Antonio doesn't have an NFL team.
Yeah, so
I
they're
think
ready.
they are really enjoying the fact that they have XFL.
Yeah.
I kind of want to go sneak over there for a game if we
Oh,
can get
absolutely.
if we can get some a little bit of funding. You know
I
what I
would-
mean?
yeah, absolutely. Let's
Get a
let's
little-
get let's get
To
Run
any,
o- run over
to
there,
any
have a
potential
rundown.
sponsors listening.
Yeah, I'd
and
love
then the
to.
final game of the week, the Sea Dragons and the Defenders.
Ben DiNucci.
Ben DiNucci and Josh Gordon.
Yeah.
And they lost.
Some big names.
And-
Especially Josh Gordon.
There was a pick six at one point, but what set up the pick six
What did it?
was one of the most incredible series of events
Yep.
that I've ever seen,
Yep.
leading to a momentum change.
We had a rebellion.
It was a revolt. It was a
We
full-on
had a
revolt.
rebellion, a full-on rebellion from the fans.
So the DC Defenders,
What did I fucking
I guess
miss?
in the 2020 season, started a tradition of building a beer snake. The fans have decided to keep that going in
Respect.
2023.
Yeah.
The security did not want to allow that.
Yeah, I bet they didn't.
So, in this revolt, and it was a revolt,
I would call that a
the
revolt,
DC
yeah.
Defenders
A mutiny.
fans decided to launch lemons onto the playing surface.
Yeah.
Where did they get the
You're
lemons, you
playing.
ask? Apparently, some of the drinks were not just beers; they were also cocktails.
Which-
and I've never seen a full lemon put into a cocktail before.
It was damn near.
I mean,
full
it,
lemon.
it's an aggressive
That's
garnish.
lazy. That's
right.
just-
Like when they put a pickle on a plate, that's too aggressive for a garnish.
Yeah, right.
Putting a whole like a half of a lemon in a drink, it's too aggressive for a garnish.
Yeah.
This is what happens. You get a revolt. The fans throw it on the field, but as soon as the play resumed, after they cleared off the field a little bit, pick six DC Defenders, they rally and go on to win the game.
Talk about a home field advantage, dude.
Yeah. I mean, when Sea Dragons got a little intimidated by the limbs.
They
Got a little bit by the lemon.
The
They may
lemons.
have to change the name of DC.
Yeah.
The Lemons.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
dude,
to the DC Lemons.
Lemons.
Yeah, well, the
I
District
can get
Columbia
behind
Lemons.
that. Yeah.
I mean, I'll vote on that.
You
Make
can,
it all-
you can tell
make
that
them
those
all
fans
yellow.
aren't getting scurvy. That's for sure.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I bet you a lot of money those lemons are not in the cocktails next
Oh
year.
no! I was about to say, I guarantee you they'll be cutting
Yeah.
them smaller next
Yeah,
time.
I mean, again, you give somebody a half a lemon.
Exactly.
I get, maybe they're trying to save on soda or whatever. Like,
Maybe, yeah,
I don't know what the thought process was
So,
behind it, but
at least cut 'em
giving
into
drunk
fours.
folks anything that can be launched.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, half a lemon. I could throw that pretty far.
All right, Defenders fans, though, let's not get carried away. Let's not be doing this every week. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we don't do that.
Hey,
here.
it's funny the first time. If it happens the second time,
Yeah.
I'm gonna start questioning it.
Yeah, I'm gonna
So-
start. Y'all, might end up being like the Bills or the Eagles. Fandom of the XFL. Maybe get a little
coming
bad
after
rap,
catching a stray, Bills and
especially
fans.
Eagles. I
Okay.
respect the Bills. Maybe I'll say the Eagles.
I respect the Eagles. Eagles fans, please don't hate me. I
Do
love
not
you
come
guys.
find me
Yeah.
in my family and
Yeah.
find where we live.
You don't.
You
can
psychos.
You can try. I don't. I know a really big Eagles fan, and he'll protect me. He'll protect us.
No, you won't. You won't. No, you won't.
I think he will.
Debatable.
Yeah. So Sea Dragons, they fell, and
Yeah.
so at this point, Roughnecks still undefeated.
Fun fact.
Still undefeated.
I want to throw out a fun fact. Do you know who the head coach for the Defenders was last time?
I do not.
Do you?
The Defenders.
The Defenders head coach in 2020. Who was their head coach? Do you know?
No.
A man that goes by the name of Pep Hamilton.
Oh, okay.
Was their head coach, who was the offensive coordinator for the Texans this year and is no longer on the team. So I don't know what he's going to be up to, but maybe he can call up the Defenders. Maybe he can get a job.
Also, pretty cool seeing Hines Ward being a head coach.
Yeah,
I will say
Hines
that.
Ward's
Pretty
a
cool
head
seeing
coach.
Hines Ward being a head coach for the for San Antonio. What are they called? Brahmas.
Brahmas.
Yeah, pretty cool
A
seeing him.
nickname of the Rocks back in the day in the WWE.
yeah,
There
it's
you go.
pretty
I mean,
sick.
He's probably
The
came up
Brahma
with that
Bull.
himself.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool seeing Hines Ward be the head coach. Honestly, I could just see the XFL becoming like an avenue for players who retire and want to go into coaching, but they don't want to jump in the NFL right away.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll
Yeah.
jump in the XFL.
Guys looking to
coach
get out
there.
of college could also go there.
Absolutely.
And then for the athletes, obviously, it's a great opportunity
Yeah,
to try to get to
absolutely.
the NFL.
Maybe Josh McCown can get a start in the XFL before he gets a head coaching job.
No,
Maybe.
but great first week of action.
absolutely.
Roughnecks,
Loved it.
a lot of close games. It's going to be a little bit of a rivalry contest with Arlington coming down next week.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
the Renegades
Might be
versus
a
the
split
Roughnecks.
stadium.
Hey, man,
Yeah.
the
Could be a
Silver
little bit of
Boot.
fun.
Silver Boot is coming to XFL, and
We'll see what happens. Both teams got their season started off with a win.
Yeah.
So now we'll.
Ooh,
I guess
it's gonna be
we'll
fun.
see everybody back here after that contest.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Roughnecks run down every single week of the XFL season. We're excited to break it all
running,
down.
running.
Yeah.
Have a blast. Thanks for joining us. It's been Roughnecks Rundown.